بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وآله وصحبه أجمعين رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي أما بعد. My brothers, my sisters, dear believers, the best greeting of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to all of you and upon all the bright faces that make sujood to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to all the sincere hearts that finds comfort, happiness, satisfaction, content, trust, success with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Today's topic, today's reminder, 60 ways to keep the love of your wife guaranteed. It is really an extremely important issue, important reminder for each and every one of us. It doesn't mean you have to apply all the 60 ways or you must apply the 60 ways to keep your wife happy. No. But sometimes you are not paying attention to one of these 60 ways that is really putting a hole in your relationship, putting a hole in your boat, the boat of your marriage, the boat of your life. So basically, some of us could apply these 60 ways. Some of us could apply half of them. But really, you want to be a champion, the art of love, the art of great dealing in a husband-to-wife relationship. Take a look at these 60 ways and you'll really find that each and every one of us needs them. And why I chose to start with the sisters, with the wife, because they say when the husband is happy at home, that means one person is happy. But when the wife is happy at home, that means the whole family is happy. And inshallah in the near future, we will, with the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, produce 60 ways to keep the love of your husband guaranteed. Speaking of the wife, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala declared in the Quran, وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ أَنْ خَلَقَ لَكُم مِّنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهَا وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَكُم مَّوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala declaring that from His signs that He created for you, from you, mates means wives, and what for? So you may dwell in tranquility, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala caused among you mawaddatan wa rahmah, love and mercy. So therefore Muslim scholars from this particular ayah concluded that the greatest achievement of a marriage, it is tranquility, sakina. If you have no sakina, if you have no tranquility in your marriage, you have no marriage. You have sakina, not sakina. Sakina is a knife. Sakina means tranquility, love, peace, comfort. I will exhibit these 60 ways with the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, explaining briefly what does it mean, this particular point or that point. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will help each and every one of us to pick and choose. Some of us would like to practice all the 60. Some of us would say, you know what, I'm a champion already in these 60 points, but this is a reminder for me. Take a look at this, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed us that your wife, it is a trust, she's a trust in your hand. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam particularly declared that this wife is a trust in your hand. So let us go one point after the second point. 60 ways to keep the love of your wife guaranteed. We'll start with the first point, which is make her feel secure. أشعرها بالسكينة. Make her feel secure. Make her feel that sakina, that tranquility. Quit the gum of the shaitan. Quit the gum that you could get from the supermarket of Iblis, the shaitan, na'udhu billah min. And that gum called, I will divorce you, I'm going to kick you out of home, I'm going to get rid of you. Quit that gum. That could put a hole in your marriage. Second point, assalamu alaikum. When you go home, you say assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. This particular great positive energy and this great greeting that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us, it will kick the shaitan out of your home. A brother said, I came home and suddenly I got so angry at my wife, but really she was wise. She just took off and went to other room. I said, I didn't pay attention. When I came home, I didn't say Assalamu alaikum. He said, Wallahi, I left home, I went outside for a few seconds, and I came back home, and I said, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Nobody could hear me, but the evening ended in love and jokes. That's why that particular greetings, it will kick the shaitan out of your home, out of your marriage. رفقا بالقوارير. Point number 3. رفقا بالقوارير. Rasulullah ﷺ urged us and described that your wife is a fragile vessel. Take care of this fragile vessel. رفقا بالقوارير وبالقوارير خيرا كثير. And remember that I'm adding that part, وبالقوارير خيرا كثير. That means in this particular vessel, I'm not adding, by the way, this part to hadith Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. No innovation, no touching of a hadith Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But what I'm saying, that in this particular vessel, that there's goodness, there's a lots of goodness, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked us to treat this particular vessel in a gentle way. النصح بالانفراد. What does that mean? Point number 4. That means when you want to advise her, this is one way to keep her love. When you want to advise her in privacy. Advise her at the best time, that there is some kind of love atmosphere, some kind of romantic atmosphere, some kind of peaceful atmosphere. Don't advise her in the public. تعمدني بنصحك بانفرادي وجنبني النصيحة في الجماعة فإن النصح بين الناس نوع من التوبيخ لا أرضى استماعه. Intend advising me in a privacy. Avoid advising me in the public. Advices in the public, it is type of slandering. I don't accept, I don't listen to. This is what the poet said. So sometimes to administrate, to inject that nice request you have or advice, it's choose the best time, choose the time when the mood is good and happy. You will keep her love. Al-Karam. Point number 5. Al-Karam, being generous with your wife. Being generous with her, it shows us that you are kind and your status with Allah is good, because your generosity to your wife is a direct business with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it is a direct credit to her heart. To be generous with your wife, it keeps her love. Ifsah al-majlis. Point number 6. What does it mean? Your wife is coming, you're sitting down, you say, here honey, you move, you say, here, have a seat, I warm the seat for you. You warm the seat for her, she will warm her heart for you. You know, when you move and you give her space, have a seat. These particular points, my brothers, my sisters, they may sound simple, but they can go a long way in the heart, and they can really make your life happy. They can make a great difference. My brothers, my sisters, number 7, تجنب الغضب, means avoid anger. Avoid anger. How? Keep wudu. Keep wudu at all times. Some of you, some of us may get angry. Rasulullah ﷺ showed us what we're supposed to be aware of. You know, you get angry, sit down. That's what Rasulullah ﷺ taught us. If you are sitting down, lie down. Lie down even in the floor. Some of us will say, you know, if I lie down, she will come and kick me in the stomach. No, she will not kick you in the stomach. You will kick the shaitan out of your stomach. تجنب الغضب. Avoid anger. My brothers, my sisters, point number 8, المظهر الطيب والطيب, means looking good, smelling great. Look good for your wife, it keeps the love. Smell great for your wife, it keeps the love. And Islamically, by the way, you could spend a good amount of your wealth and perfume and smelling good. Islamically, it's okay. Islamically, really, it's desired and it's preferred. These important matters, my brothers, my sisters, can make a huge difference in our life. It can really make us or break us. Number 9, لا تكن يابسا فَتُكْسَرْ. What does that mean? Don't be rigid, you will be broken. Some brothers will think, for me to be rigid, that means I'm a man. No. Rasulullah ﷺ taught us that أَنَا خَيْرَكُمْ وَأَنَا خَيْرَكُمْ لِأَهْلِي. I am the best among you and I am the best to my wife. This is what Rasulullah ﷺ. So being rigid, you don't get close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Being harsh-hearted, you don't get close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number 10, حسن الاستماع. This is really important. That use this particular satellite, but channel that to your wife. Because sometimes these particular people who complain about their husband and they come to the masjid, they go and get some counseling, you would find that really they don't want you to solve their problem. They don't want the husband to solve their problem. They just want a good listener. Be that good listener. حسن الاستماع. 11. نعم للمجاملة لا للمجادلة. It means yes for flattering, no for arguing. Arguing, it is a serious poison for the relationship, for the marriage. Al-Awza'i, may Allah be pleased with him, said, إِذَا أَرَادَ اللَّهُ بِقَوْمٍ شَرًّا فَتَحَ عَلَيْهِمُ الْجَدَلَ وَمَنَعَهُمُ الْعَمَلِ. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to cause people evil, Allah would leave them arguing, disputing among themselves. Therefore, my brothers, my sisters, yes for flattering, no for arguing. It will keep the love of your wife. 60 ways to keep the love of your wife guaranteed. Now we go to 12. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam here taught us a great tip, which is نادها بأجمل الأسماء. Call your wife with the best names she liked to hear. Did Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam practice this? Yes. He used to call our mother Aisha, Ya Aish. May Allah be pleased with her. Ya Aish. So there's nothing wrong with you calling your wife sweet pie, honey bun, sweetie. Call her with any name she like. Call her with the name that she loves to hear. That particular practice will go direct to the heart. It is one of the ways to keep her love guaranteed. 13. Al-Hadiyya wal-Mufaja'a as-Sarra. Or al-Mufaja'a as-Sarra. Sometimes, a pleasant surprise. That pleasant surprise, also you think it's to the stomach, but it could be to the heart. And there's so many ways to do the pleasant surprise. Maybe she loves, for example, watermelon. And then suddenly you are bringing her a watermelon, where it's not even the season of watermelon, and somehow you're bringing her watermelon. It's not going to the stomach, this is going to the heart. This is called a pleasant surprise. Pick and choose, be an artist of surprising her in a pleasant way. حفظ اللسان, number 14, this is a serious matter. Preserving the tongue. Some brothers, some sisters may say something that takes years to wipe out. Rasulullah ﷺ taught us that the collection of people's tongue will throw them right on their face, the hellfire, وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ. So حفظ اللسان, preserving the tongue, it is seriously an important matter. 15. كلنا صاحب عيب. Means all of us have shortcoming. For us to look only in her shortcoming and to think that we are perfect, it's a really serious problem. So expect her shortcoming and accept her shortcoming, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will put barakah in your life, and you will keep as well her love. 16. Al-Karam bit-Taqdeer. Al-Karam bit-Taqdeer, you'll find some brothers, really they love their wives. Really they appreciate them. Really they like what they have done today, or the food they cooked, or the way how they dressed, but they don't say it. They just love it, and they appreciate that. They keep it in their heart. Take it from your heart, or from the tongue of your heart, put it in the tongue of your mouth, deliver it. Show her. Tell her that you appreciate her. Tell her that you like that particular meal she made. Tell her, وَعَاشِرُهُنَّ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ. Allah showed us that to live with them and to deal with them in a good way, in a kind way. So show that appreciation. 17, صِلَةُ الرَّحْمِ وَإِكْرَامِ الْعَائِلَةِ. To keep the love of your wife, encourage her to be in touch with her kin relation, and to be kind to her mom and dad, and to be in touch with her mom and dad. That brings her life blessings, that brings her life mercy from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In return, that blessing and mercy is your love, and it's your mercy, it is your comfort. Number 18, تكلم, speak of the topic of her interest. Choose the topic of her interest. You know, sometimes you are 10 hours outside home, 12 hours, and that 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours you spend with her. Some of us will carry a conversation where really she has no interest in that. We'll come and tell her, you know, today in my training, I got somebody kicked in the stomach and he vomited at me and all this. You know, no. That's something she is not interested in. Pick a topic of her interest. It will keep the love. It will increase the love. It preserves the love. 19. What is 19? إظهار الخير. And this is seriously important matter. That right before her relatives, right in front of her relatives, that you show that she is wonderful. That you really mention that she is wonderful, that you admit and you accept and you realize and you confirm that she is wonderful. Show that to her relative. Speak out that she is a good person. That can preserve the love. 20. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam gave us also major tips, because what I'm telling you, my brothers, my sisters, is from the Quran and the Sunnah. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, in this particular point, number 20, tahaddu tahabbu, means give each other gifts. You will love each other. You know, that $5 gift, $50 gift, $500, whatever you could afford, that gift, it goes a long way. And this is confirmed by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that when you give her gift, she will love you, and that will increase the love, and that will polish the love. And you could try that anytime. It works. When is the last time you bought your wife a gift? My brothers, my sisters, it doesn't mean that she's my wife, I have to wait for an occasion. No! There's an everyday a reason why you have to give her a gift. Take an example. Suppose you come to my home, while you're drinking your coffee, you pour it in your clothes, you drop the coffee in your clothes, I come, take your clothes personally, wash your clothes, dry your clothes, iron your clothes. What would happen? I'm sure for the rest of your life, you will not forget this story. You will not forget what I have done for you. What about your wife, who is doing daily much more than that? Whether she is working at home, a full-time mom, whether she's working outside, and again being also a full-time mom. Tahadu tahabu. 21. التغيير للترغيب. And that means getting rid of the rust, getting rid of the routine. Surprise her, make a change. You know, she's day in, day out living certain routine. Get rid of this routine once in a while. Scrub the rust. What does that mean? You know, for example, you could buy a package and surprise her. You know, for the next 2 days or for the next day, we're staying at the Niagara Falls. There's a nice hotel. There's nice meals. You know, that small action, it will get rid of the regular rust, the regular routine. It will increase the love, polishes the love. One of the ways, in these 60 ways, to keep the love of your wife guaranteed. 22. حسن الظن بالزوجة. Actually, Islamically, we are requested, and not only requested, we have a demand upon us from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we have to think good. Now, thinking good of each other, that applies to the wife as well. حسن الظن بالزوجة, thinking good of your wife will protect the love, increase the love. One of the ways in this particular advices today to keep the love of your wife guaranteed. 23. خلق التطنيش. You know, when I go through these as point forms, but in reality you are saying, wait a second, maybe I'm short in this point, maybe I never really practiced this point. You know, pick and choose, my brothers. خلق التطنيش means have the manners of just pretend you did not hear that word from your wife. Pretend you did not see certain things she did. Of course, I'm not saying something huge and big, because if she's done something terrible, you don't want to help her shaitan against her. You want to help her against her shaitan. But that little thing she has done that you didn't like, pretend you did not see it. خلق التطنيش means that little word, something she said that you did not like, pretend you did not hear. That particular manners or that particular practice, it was a practice of Imam Ali radiyallahu anh. This way you are like putting a hole in your memory. Just pretend you did not hear that. Just get rid of it. Don't save it in your memory. 23 is خلق التطنيش. 24, and that is a point where definitely we need to practice sometimes daily. You have to add a drop of patience. A drop of patience. A brother told me that if he really can go back in his life and just add a drop of patience in things that he faced, he wouldn't be suffering the consequences of such a thing that he lived or suffered. He said, I needed really just a drop of patience. And speaking of that, point number 24, increase the drops of patience at the time where she is pregnant or the time of her monthly period. You need to increase. Sometimes just one drop of patience, it can go a long way. Now we move to point 25. توقع الغيرة واحترمها. Expect her jealousy, respect her jealousy. Expect and respect. You know, natural. Our mothers, may Allah be pleased with them, sometimes they used to get jealous. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam got a gift, which is food, delivered from the believers, the sisters, the sahabiyat. The servant coming down to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam with the food, and our mother Aisha standing next to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. She got jealous. She tipped the hand. She tipped the hand of the servant. That food fall on the floor. Take a look at the wisdom of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He went down, picking up the food, giving everyone, and said, "Kulu gharat ummukum." Eat. Your mother got jealous. It's over. So expect and respect her jealousy. It protects your love. تواضع. 26. تواضع تعلو في قلبها. Means be humble. You really raise in her heart. Maybe you are an engineer. Maybe you are a doctor. She doesn't have a university degree. But remember that she's taking care of you and taking care of your heart, which is your children, because your children is your heart walking on earth. So she is really, if you are a doctor, she is much more than a doctor. She is the leader at home. And what I mean by that word, she is really the person that her strength is your strength, and her success is your success. So no matter how successful you are, we can't be high and look at her down. No, be humble, you will raise in her heart. 27. And this is something Lots of brothers, they do practice that. They want to make their friends happy, but in return, they make their home miserable. You know, take an example. Somebody could wake up his wife 1 o'clock at night. You know, we just came here to watch TV. Get up, make some dinner for us. Come on. She wants to take care of the children and the children's school. And this way you are making your friends happy, but the price is very high. Which is, you are putting the price, your happiness is the price. So you are sacrificing your happiness. 28 مد يد العون بالمنزل. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam used to help at home. أنا خيركم وأنا خيركم لأهلي. I'm the best among you. This is what Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said. I'm the best among you. Indeed, he was the best of Allah's creation. I'm the best among you, and I'm the best to my wives. So he used to even sew his own clothes, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and to help. 29. This is where recently a brother wants to force his wife to love his mom. You can't force love in anyone. You know, help her respect your mom and dad, and gradually the love will come. The love could come instantly, but you can't force the love. Rest assured, my brothers, my sisters, you love your mom and dad, great. We love them, and it's the best, one of the best business to do with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is to please your mom and dad. But you can't force your wife to love your mom and dad. Help her to respect mom and dad, and gradually to love them. The love in the heart, and only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has control of this heart. You can't force her to love your mom and dad. أعنها على بر الوالدين, which is help her to be kind to your mom and dad. Point number 30, which is when you show your wife that you are الزوجة القدوة, you are the ideal wife. Just by her thinking that way, you are not telling a lie. She is in many ways ideal. Each and every wife is an ideal. No matter how good or great she is, or half great she is, she's an ideal in many ways. And make her feel that she is an ideal wife. You know, that will help and will protect the love, will increase the love. My brothers, my sisters, الدعاء بظهر الغيب. Point number 31, to remember your wife with the dua. Wallahi, this is matter that will protect the love. It will really guaranteed help to increase the love, not just protect it and stays as is. Especially if she knows that you really choose great timing and great places to make dua, to pray for her. It protects the love. Al-Madi lil-Qadi, which is point number 32. Leave the past to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You are not Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You are not in charge of her past. I have counseled a family who really suffered a terrible fights. Then they settle down. Then later fights, a terrible fight again. They settle. What happened? The husband happened to dig in something his wife did 10 years ago. Some type of negative energy that spills in their life. Each time he remembers that, it really leads them to a big fight and sometimes a divorce. Why? Because that matter was not his business. You are not Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The past, al-madi lil-qadi, the past for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We don't dig in the past. It may bring you misery. My brothers, my sisters, 60 ways to keep the love of your wife guaranteed. Take these and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help each and every one of us to practice these. Because when you are not happy at home, rest assured you're not going to be happy anywhere else. That's why sakina at home. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed us that the tranquility, it's with the husband and wife. It is at home. The sakina, the love and comfort and security, it is at home. Point number 33. عدم التمنن فأنت عتال. What does that mean? Don't try to show her that you are doing her a favor to bring food at home or to bring certain things at home. Don't show that you are doing them a favor and I am doing this and I'm doing that. Why? Because in reality, me and you, we are only the couriers. We carry the rizq. We are not the providers. We carry the sustenance. Whatever Allah provide your family, you are not the provider. Allah is the provider. You are the courier. And to think that way, it protects the love. To avoid showing that I'm doing you a favor, it protects the love. Not only that, that's one of the way that you are praising Allah. Ya Rabbi, I'm only a courier. I'm only a courier to the family. And it is a way also of being humble. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will raise you in her heart and will protect the love, guaranteed. 40 or 34. Point 34. الشيطان عدو. Satan is your enemy. Your wife is not your enemy. Rest assured. Satan is the enemy. And this is here where you would realize that sometimes people, husband and wife, they're talking, somehow a fight breaks. Why? Because you are one, your wife is two, the shaitan is number three. Take the shaitan as an enemy. Most of us will know that if I ask you, do you like the shaitan? No, I don't like the shaitan. That's not enough to hate the shaitan. We have to take the shaitan as an enemy. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala declared that that the shaitan is our enemy. فَاتَّخُذُوهُ عَدُوًّا. Consider him, deal with him, be aware of him as an enemy. So your wife is not the enemy. The shaitan loves divorce, loves to separate between a husband and a wife, will come every day and will sit his, let's suppose, an office, will ask the shayateen, the devils, what have you done? Some would say, I have made this person steal. Okay, take this. What have you done? I have made this person drink. Okay, take this. What have you done? I have made this person do so and so. Okay, take this. What have you done? One of the devils would say, I have made this man divorce his wife. The shaitan will call him and will say, you come here, and will get crowned. Will put a crown on him. So therefore, rest assured, your wife is not your enemy. The shaitan is an enemy. Take him as an enemy. Deal with him as an enemy. Rest assured that sometimes when you talk to your wife, he's the one who tries to throw words in your mouth to fire at her, or words in her mouth to fire at you. Be aware of the shaitan. Na'udhu billah min. 35. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us that when you take the food and you put it into her mouth, into your wife's mouth, this is a blessing. You will get blessing, you get rewarded. Not only that, it's not going to the stomach, it's going to the heart. It increases the love, it increases the mercy. One of the way to keep the love of your wife guaranteed. 36. Some of us will consider his wife like a precious pearl, which is a nice way to think of it and to look at it, as she is a precious pearl. One of the most precious pearl will tell you, my wife is my princess. She is my precious pearl. You know, the precious pearl, you don't leave it hanging just in the floor or just lying in the floor. You know, the precious pearl, you don't leave it just for anyone to touch or to abuse. No. The most precious pearl on earth, if you ask someone and say, which one is more precious, your wife or the most precious pearl on earth? He would say, my wife. So therefore, protect your wife, protect this precious pearl from the envy of the shayateen. Shayateen al-ins wa shayateen al-jinn. The devils of the human type or the devils of the jinni type. Protect her from that type of envy. And speaking of the pearls, now we go to point 37. Show her your pearls. What does that mean? Show her your smile. Show her your smile. Some of us outside home, he will smile for everyone. Anyone in the street, he will smile for them. Even a raccoon walking in the street, he will smile for the raccoon. But when it comes to home, the mouth is out of service, there is no smile. The face is so rigid like a hard bread. If he smile, he would think that's gonna crack. No. Smile for your wife. It is a sadaqah. Your smile, it is like giving a charity. And it brings a beautiful positive energy into her heart. It protects the love. It increases the love. 38. الجبال تبنى من الحصى. That sometimes small spark, you leave somewhere, come later on, you'll find the whole building on fire. Small stones or small pivot, just adding up, it will cause a big mountain or a big wall to be between you and your wife. This little problem or little challenge that you really did not take care of, it becomes a problem. And that little challenge that really you ignored and you repeated, that little things that she didn't like, you repeated that, it becomes a problem. And these little things, they will add up, and you so suddenly find that there is walls between you and her. Don't ignore these little matters. Deal with them. Sometimes they could be small challenges. Ignoring them could become a serious, big problem. 39. تجنب ضيق الصدر. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, تجنب ضيق الصدر means avoid being harsh-hearted and just moody. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, Allah glorified him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala honored him by saying, وَلَوْ كُنْتَ فَضًّا غَلِيظَ الْقَلْبِ لَانْفَضُّوا مِنْ حَوْلِكَ. If you were hard, harsh-hearted, they would have break away from you. Means the companions would leave you. And that's a confirmation that Rasulullah ﷺ was not hard, harsh-hearted. So if you happen to be one of those people, their chest is so tight and you're so moody, get rid of it. It protects your love. One of the ways to keep the love of your wife guaranteed. 40. Respect her thinking, because her thinking, it is a strength for you. And show that you respect her thinking. Show you appreciate her thinking. Really. Sometimes you are listening to her, the way how she's thinking, or the way how she suggested something. Show that you really like that suggestion. Show that you really appreciate that particular thought. Respecting her thought, it keeps the love. 41. Help her to dig in her heart. Help her to dig within, to discover more skills, because her success is your success. Help her to dig and find success within. That will keep the love. It will protect the love. 42, my brothers, my sisters.